Ming City. Inside a store in a downtown area. Ming was holding a card-making pen and was drawing very seriously. In front of him, there was a design drawing, 1-star energy card texture production template, which was a standard card production design drawing. This is the base card. 36 strokes. Every stroke is a basic texture. As long as you draw the pattern according to the design, you can make an energy card. This is the first card that all card makers must learn, and it is also the only card that Ming knows. Brush. The card pen falls. Ming could clearly feel that the energy in his body slowly flowed into the card along the tip of the pen, and finally turned into a dark line. It turns out, this is card making. A familiar feeling. Ming was thoughtful. He feels. The patterns on the back of the card look like a programming language. Although the principle is not clear. But as long as the cards are compared to programs, everything seems to become very clear. In his previous life, he used simple programming languages to write complex programs, but now he uses lines to draw cards. The energy card is equivalent to a simple small program, just like those small programs for addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division learned in introductory programming. It is very simple. So the texture is simple and easy to draw. The texture. It's just a card making, the core of card making. If you learn how to draw these lines, you will master the basics of card making. For me, card making is programming in a different world. Ming was a little excited. It feels really good. Integrating Ming's memory. He was fairly steady. This energy card, which had been drawn countless times, gradually took shape under Ming's hands. Soon, Ming drew the last stroke on the back of the blank card. Thus, a faint brilliance flashed. All the lines solidified at this moment and became looming. And a diamond-shaped crystal pattern appeared on the originally blank front of the card. That's the power stone. This blank card becomes a brand new energy card. 1-star energy card. Ming was delighted. Although Ming has succeeded countless times in his memory, the feeling of successfully making it for the first time is still very magical after all. Certainly, there is a design drawing, but what if there is no design drawing? This requires the original card. The original card can encapsulate any ability and turn it into a card. Then, you draw it according to the pattern on the back of the original card, and it becomes a new card. This is the power of the card maker. Original card. Ming raised his hand. Brush. A faint stream of light flashed by. In his hand, a card with condensed energy appeared. Thus, glimmer of light. The crystal clear card rotates in front of his eyes with a faint light and looks so shining. This is his original card and the foundation of the card maker. In theory, using this original card, you can encapsulate an ability. Then, lines will appear on the back of the card. As long as you draw according to these lines, you can make a card. It is very powerful. Unfortunately, Ming's utilization rate of the original card is 0. The reason is simple, the energy is too low. The minimum requirement for the original card's encapsulation ability is that the energy contained in the original card must be higher than the energy you want to encapsulate, so that it can be successful. Your original card contains 100 energy, how to encapsulate the ability of 200 energy? He will be strangled to death. And Ming's original card energy was only 48 points. You know, each energy card has 100 energy points. In other words, without the assistance of design drawings, Ming couldn't even make an energy card. He only has a pitiful 48 points of energy. Now every energy card he makes requires an energy stone as a supplement before it can be completed. To put it bluntly, his current job is a converter, responsible for converting energy stones into energy cards. That's all. He is a coolie among coolies and the king of bricks in the brick-making party. In my memory, In Lu Ming's limited memory, he once found a classmate who was also a low-level student and used the fireball technique on him in an attempt to encapsulate him. Then, he lay in the infirmary for a month before getting up. The encapsulation failed and the fireball hit him directly. Because even the lowest fireball technique requires 50 points of energy. He can't seal it. Simply put, the capacity is not enough. It is impossible to burn an 8G love action movie to a 4G disc. As for buying the design drawings of the fireball technique and using energy stones to replenish energy to complete the drawing, he couldn't afford it. Of course, the most important thing is that fireball is also the most basic skill. Unsealed cards are everywhere, and there are plenty of them in any card shop. It's no use buying it. At least 10 stores on this street sell this. Make money? It doesn't exist at all. So, poor little Lu Ming finally decided to make money through energy cards. By making a large number of energy cards, you can earn some cool money, and you can also improve your cultivation. Only when the energy is improved can you encapsulate more abilities and make them to sell them for money. In fact, his decision still makes sense. It's a pity. I can't hold my head high due to the interest on the loan. Loan. Lu Ming looked at the countdown in the upper right corner, 15 days. If he fails to repay the loan within 15 days, he will probably be dragged to the chrysanthemum stage by those people. As for contacting his parents and my sister, well, forget it. If it is exposed, it will be a dead end. Lu Ming would never try it unless it was absolutely necessary. 100,000. Lu Ming looked at the small ledger on the table. This shop was originally used to fool my sister. It was only rented for 2 months. Including the cards bought to decorate the store, the total cost was only 20,000. Logically speaking, you can pay it back if you work hard. But the interest on such loans, especially campus loans. Haha, when those guys came last time, 20,000 turned into 50,000 at some point. Oh. When they come next time, it will be 100,000. It's a bit troublesome. Lu Ming sighed. These local snakes are actually quite powerful, especially for Lu Ming who has almost no fighting ability, so violent resistance and other things are not considered. At least not now. So, how to collect 100,000 in 15 days is a big problem. Making money? Cards. Lu Ming fell into deep thought. The only technology available to him now is card making, which is basic energy cards. He is not qualified to touch other cards. Besides, even if you get in touch, it's not worth anything. Or? Lu Ming glanced at his store. At that time, he bought some cards to show off, but they have not been sold yet. There are many low-level attack cards, but he is not qualified to copy them. Not enough energy. Finally, Lu Ming's eyes fell on one of the cards. Illusion card. Lu Ming's eyes brightened slightly. There are countless types of cards. Because cards can encapsulate all characteristics, in theory, any ability that a card can encapsulate can be made into a card. Therefore, the cards cover almost all abilities of all professions. The fantasy card is a card made after the fantasy is encapsulated in the card. The fantasy card contains a completed fantasy. For example, this card in front of me. 1-star illusion card, create an illusion cage to trap the enemy. With low realism and poor stability, this is also the most basic fantasy card. Energy, 60 points. To copy this card, you need at least 60 energy points. He had no intention of copying this card. Not to mention the lack of energy, even if he copied it. It wouldn't be worth anything. The lowest level of cards are everywhere. He just suddenly thought of something. According to Xiao Lu Ming's memory, the stability of the illusion is related to energy. The more powerful the transformed thing is, the more powerful the energy, the higher the stability. And the greater the power. But what if there is no energy? What if you just create a simple basic illusion? What if you just transformed some facilities without any energy? The consumption will be much lower. These are all knowledge based on theoretical basis. So, what kind of illusion can be created with something that doesn't require energy? You can try it. Lu Ming thought thoughtfully. He wasn't worried about the illusionist at all. There were illusion students from the technical college all over the ground. And Lu Ming felt that he could easily find one. Thinking of this, Lu Ming took out his mobile phone. This world actually doesn't care about the development of science and technology, but even so, because of the existence of energy, the development speed is extremely fast. The overall technological level is better than in the previous life. Pang Zhong, do you want to do some business? Lu Ming asked. Zhong Xiaopang is one of his classmates. The reason why Lu Ming chose him was also very simple. Among the illusionists he knew, this guy was the worst and the cheapest. What business? Zhong Xiaopang's voice rose 3 times. A simple illusion, you make it and I'll encapsulate it for 800 yuan. Lu Ming said. It's too low. Zhong Xiaopang disagreed, this price is not even enough to consume energy. Oh, forget it. Lu Ming hung up the phone. A second later. The phone rang, and Zhong Xiaopang's voice came, brother, where are you? I'll go over now and reimburse the 2 yuan for the fare. Get out. Lu Ming was rude. If you let go at this time, he will dare to increase the pressure. I'm in the store. Lu Ming said angrily. To them? 800 yuan is pure extra money. After all, even if you don't have money, you should practice and practice. Don't you still have to practice? So, just try your guess. Lu Ming thought for a while, took out a pen and paper and started to think about it. Soon, Zhong Xiaopang ran over panting. What fantasy do you want? Sister Royals or Lowlies? Queen series? Or Stewardesses series? Zhong Xiaopang asked extremely skillfully. Lu Ming? What kind of part-time job do you guys from the fantasy department usually do?